Okay, so today, hopefully you're already on Canvas. When you look at the first page, it should look like this. We're going to talk about rational numbers and irrational numbers. Okay, so a rational number is something that can be written as a fraction or as a decimal that's repeating. So for another example of this, you could say 0.3333, and this keeps going, and so we often write it as 0.3 with a line above it as repeating, okay? Another way that you can write a fraction, any number can be converted into a fraction. By that I mean, if you write the number 3, you have $3, okay? You can write that over 1. 3 over 1 is still a fraction, but in a fraction often means divide, so 3 divided by 1 is still 3. It doesn't change anything. So you can write any number over 1, okay? When you look at the next box in, you're looking at integers. So integers are whole numbers. By that I mean not like change. So you either got $2 or you got $3. You didn't got $2.50. Okay? So integers are whole numbers, and you can see they start at -3, -2. Obviously this goes on to -1,000,000, okay? But they're whole numbers. It also includes 0 and all the positives. So positive, negatives, and zeros, okay? Whole numbers is just 0 on. So it's only positives and it includes the 0, okay? The natural or counting numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way till 1,000,000. They just doesn't have 0. So no 0, 0, positives and negatives, and then fractions. And you can see that it kind of encompasses itself. So, for example, the number 2, it is a natural number, it is also a whole number, it is also an integer, and it is also a rational number. Okay? If you look at 0, 0 is not a natural number, it is a whole number, it is an integer, and it is a rational number. Okay? If we look at -3, it's not a natural, it's not a whole, it is an integer, and it is a rational. Okay? So it encompasses these things. So if it's one thing way on the inside, it's got to be all of the other things. Okay? But if it's only on the outside, it's not any of the other things on the inside. The last thing we're going to talk about is irrational numbers. So irrational numbers are numbers where they can't be written as a fraction, and the decimal does not repeat, meaning it keeps changing. So, for example, pi is an irrational number, and most people know, like, I'm not one of them nerds, okay? So don't categorize me with other math people. That I know 3.14. I don't know the rest, okay? But, so this is an example, but it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 9, 8, 2. That's not really what it is, but you can see that the decimal doesn't, this one says 0.3333, and it's always going to be 3. That's why it's a repeating decimal. This one keeps changing. It's never something over and over and over and over again. That's what makes it irrational, okay? So, square root of 2 is the same way. And I really don't even know what that one is. It's 414.21356, and that's all the farther my calculator goes out. But it does keep going, and the numbers just keep changing. Nothing's repeating, okay? So, there's only 10 problems. I'll do 5, and then you guys do 5, okay? So, if you look at your worksheet right now, I'm just going to go through some of them. So, go to the next page. Okay, it says, what type of number? Rational, irrational, integer, whole, natural. So, and you might have to flip back and forth between the pages. Granted, you don't have paper, but scroll back and forth. So, I always just start at the top of the box. So, is it a rational? Yes.
Yeah.
So we can write rational. And I'll try to hold this up so you guys don't have to go back and forth. I don't know if you can see it. Is it a integer?
No.
No, because it's a fraction. Okay? Is it a whole number? No.
Yes.
No, I'm talking about 1/2. Okay, is 1/2 a natural number? No. Okay, is it an irrational number? No, because the decimal form of that would be half of it is 50 cents. Okay, it's 0.5. So the only thing that it's going to be is rational. Okay. Number 2, we have 4. So is 4 a rational number?
No.
Yes. So rational encompasses everything else. Okay, and sometimes it's almost better to work from the inside out. Okay, so which I think it would probably be easier for you guys. Is 4 a natural number?
Yeah.
Is it a whole number?
Yep. Yeah.
Is it an integer?
Yep.
Is it a rational?
Nope.
So if it's this, it's gotta be the bigger box. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So somewhere on your sheet, I would almost write in here just some random numbers like 0, 4, -4, something to kind of give you an indication. So up here, we're gonna write rational, integer, whole, natural, and then the last one we haven't checked, is it irrational?
No.
No, it's not, so we're not even going to write that on there. Okay, -4. Is it a natural?
Yep.
-4, nope. Is it a whole number?
Yep.
Nope. Is it an integer?
Nope. Yep.
Yep. So we know that it's an integer. Okay, is it a rational?
Yeah. Nope.
So it is a rational because the rational is this whole big box. If it falls anywhere in these little boxes, then it automatically falls in the big box. Okay, so because this one's a yes, that makes everything else a yes. If this one's a yes, it makes everything else a yes. Okay, if this one's a yes, then the next two are yeses. Okay, so it is a rational. Is it an irrational?
Nope.
No, it's not. So we're not going to write anything on there. Okay, look at number 4. It's a square root of 2. Is it a natural?
Yeah.
A square root of 2.
Nope.
No. Is it a whole number?
Nope.
Integer?
Nope.
Is it a rational?
Decent.
Okay, so here's the thing about rational and irrational. It's just like flipping a penny. Okay, so it's one or the other. It cannot be, it has to be either rational or irrational. You either have money or you don't. It's either heads or tails. So you can automatically kind of tell, where does the square root of 2 fall?
Irrational.
Irrational, which means it's none of these. Okay, so we're just going to write irrational. Okay, number 5 is 0. Is it a natural number?
No.
No. Is it a whole number?
Yeah.
So if this one is yes, what should this one be?
Yes and yes.
Yeah, so if it's a whole, then it is also an integer and it is also a rational. Okay, so it's going to be, what are we looking at? 0 is going to be an integer. A whole. And I was going backwards. Rational. Is it an irrational?
No.
No, it's one or the other. Okay, so it's either rational or irrational. Okay, 6 through 10 are almost just like the ones up top. They're not identical, but they're similar. Okay, so you're going to do 6 through 10. and then submit it when you're done, and you are done for the day. If you need help, I'm here. If not, then you're more than welcome to get off or do whatever, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I will see some of you guys tomorrow. Hopefully be on time. And I will post a video on YouTube later, so if you're kind of a little bit confused, watch it again.
Thank you.
Yeah.